Hello, how's it going? Welcome back. Today we're looking at the Rlaarlo AK917, a sort of kind of Porsche 917 K. Yes, in the previous video I talked about how I was going to turn this into a sort of car park basher, car park racer. I'm not going to be pursuing the speed running, the high numbers that basically Rlaarlo were asking owners to try and do. There was a challenge to see if you get the highest top speed. People are doing about 150 miles an hour. I'm not going to do that. I don't have the money to throw at speed running. I also have no knowledge or experience at speed running, and there's nowhere within any reasonable driving distance that's smooth enough and long enough for speed running. Our Scottish drag racing scene happens at Crail, which is an abandoned or an old airfield, and it's about as divoted as a ploughed field, so there's no point. So 917 AK917, and I'm going to turn it into a sort of racing car for the tarmac. So what we're going to do then today, well, we've got the power system, got the servo, radio gears in this box of stuff. I have a large box of stuff with me. But let's talk about the power first of all. This is the Castle Creations brushless system I've had for several years. It was first put in my HPI jump shot. That was the Mark I HPI jump shot, where it proceeded to rip the drivetrain to pieces because the jump shot drivetrain was made of cheese. Then I moved on to the Proline Pro MT monster truck, and it was superb in that. It went really, really well. It was very well suited to it. When I sold the Proline Pro MT because of lack of spares, they discontinued it. Traxxas's fault, long story. They discontinued it. You couldn't get the parts unless you're willing to pay a ridiculous sum of money. So I then got the Corrali Triton, which I had for a little while. Again, running this. And then I sold the Triton. So now it's been sitting spare for a little while. It's not in the greatest condition, you know, visually anymore. It's a bit chipped and battered and stuff, but that doesn't matter. The motor feels a little bit weak in terms of, you hear that, a bit loose, sort of. And it's weird because there's no resistance at all. It's strange. So I know some brushless motors are like that. You can just spin them, and some of them are really strong. The magnets can resist you, but whatever. Not like the brush motor. Back in the day with the brush motors, you could almost judge a motor's torque by the resistance of the magnets. 4,600 kV. It says 100,000 RPM max. I don't know how true that is. This is just for reference. This is the 1406-1Y motor. 3S max. I've only ever ran it on 2S. All those trucks that I had this in previously were all running 2S. With this speed controller, this is the Sidewinder 3. Again, 2S. It's only ever been mated to that motor. It is rated to 3S. I don't know how well it'll survive that, but we'll see. I've cut away some of the fan shroud because it was kind of blocking the fan, so I was just letting a bit more airflow. Yeah, that'll power it very nicely. It'll go rapid. I'm going to run this on 3S. It'll be rapid, but it won't be speed run. Servo. This is an SRT. Never used these before. Stands for Star Refined Technology. And if you read the description, excellent servo, incredible efficiency, low power consumption, perfect output performance, smoother, faster, and more durable. This sounds like the finest of Chinesium. Just the way it's described. I mean, it is made in China, but to be fair, Castle Creations, American brand, also made in China. But in terms of, it sounds like a Chinese company. All these buzzwords, Star Refined Technology. It just sounds like Chinesium to me. I don't know if I'm right or not. But then the blah, 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 blah is also Chinese, so yeah. We're making a really good job at trying to move away from Chinese products, aren't we, these days? But it's a, you know, it looks a really nice servo, all metal gears, at 6 volts. It's quite quick. I think it's 0.11. Is it 0.11? 0.11 to 60 degrees, yeah, and 20 kilograms of torque at 6 volts. So that'll be more than up to the job. It's actually lighter than I expected. That's not a good thing necessarily, but waterproof, plenty of torque, plenty of speed, it'll be fine. What about the box of stuff? Well, there's packaging. Wheels and tyres. I spoke about on the first video when I unboxed this. I spoke about how the wheels and tyres on this car, hold on a second, are way too skinny, especially the back ones. Look at that, way too skinny. Have you seen the back of a Porsche 917? It's like that, but you know, skinny tyres. Not interested in that. Want some proper, I said I wanted some proper 917K style wheels with tyres to match. Thankfully, HPI were up to the challenge. They offer these vintage 5-spoke wheels. They are so Porsche 917K, they couldn't be more if they tried. They're absolutely perfect. They are the perfect aesthetic for the Porsche 917K. Perfect. However, HPI, I want to love you. I'm trying to love you. HPI, why won't you let me love you? When they went into administration a few years ago, I can't remember if it was for the second or third time. I think it was the second time. You know, they in the run up to it, the shops were empty of HPI products. The spares availability was terrible. They were selling very old models with a new lick of paint, call them a new model, but they were decades old. The part support just wasn't there, and that was the result. And then they got bought over, new owners, and it was all change, we're going to make change. The HPI as they are now, they're still selling decade-old models with a new lick of paint, and you still can't get spares readily. I had to get the tyres and wheels. These are the wheels and tyres that are mated to each other. These are the tyres for these wheels, and I had to get them from different shops because they didn't stock one or the other. They actually stocked one or the other, sorry. And these are the biggest online retailers, and half of them were on back order for weeks anyway. And really, these are the vintage racing slicks. They look lovely. But there's vintage racing tyres which have a tread pattern that are actually genuinely identical to the tyres that 917 used to run back in the day, and you couldn't get them anywhere. They were red on stock everywhere. Nobody had them. So I just gone for the slicks. Yes, 917 did racing slicks as well, but the sort of mortal tread pattern that those cars ran on quite, you know, regularly, you could get them from HPI, except you can't get them from HPI. Anyway, HPI, yes. 31mm wide rears, and what was it, 26mm. So there is a difference, only 5mm difference. But let's get them open. We'll see what that looks like. These aren't wide enough. They're much wider than what's on it, and they're going to have a staggered width. They'll look good, but they're not wide enough. Porsche 917 back tyres were something special. They're huge, but you can see that's going to be a lot wider than yeah. It'll definitely look more impressive. I just don't quite think it's there. It's almost there. It'll look a lot better. You've got staggered wheels. That's the thing. You can get slightly wider one. They're not very commonly, but you can get slightly wider 110 scale wheels for on roads, but not with the two identical. So I could get wider, but I couldn't get staggered with a narrower front and a wider back with the same design. But as you can see here, actually the fronts are a bit too wide because they're almost as wide as the back ones. Anyway, I mean, it's okay. These are closer to 917 than the actual car is. I mean, it's clearly inspired by one, but it isn't one. That's not going to. You're not going to look at it and go, oh, you know what? These aren't quite wide enough, and these are slightly too wide, probably. You've ruined the whole thing. It looks nothing like a Porsche 917. It's going to be closer than it is now, and it's about as close as a licensed one can be, and it'll all be good. So I'm actually surprised how close they look. And there's a 5mm difference, but you know, you could tell. You could tell that the rears are wider. Anyway. Thing about HPI is they do have really good plastics on the wheels, and they do have really good rubber tyres. You know, you talk about the sort of cheapo, plasticky looking rubber tyres. That's not HPI. They make good tyres. No, these are the white ones. These are the white ones. Yeah, they feel good. They look nice too, and they got the foams included. So let's just, I'm not going to glue them on right now on camera, but let's just get this settled. Let's try this out. Now it said on the website that these tires are for these wheels. You know, it specifically says that. It's because they've got a really weird bead pattern inside. Don't know what that's all about. It's not, the back of it's normal, but the front has a sort of inner lip. Sure, fine. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, that's so old school. Look at that. Deep dash, wide slick tire. Sort of, almost that inner bead lets the tire set right out, I mean, really far out. That's really cool. So, how much better is that going to look than that? It's going to be so much nicer. There you go. That's more like it. Do that way around. Oops. There you go. Line up there you are. That's way more 917. That's so much cooler. Very happy with that. Now, coffee. That's what I was going to say. I'm not just going to bitch about HPI and not do anything about it. It's not like I want them to fail. I want HPI to succeed. They're one of my favourite RC brands. Always have been. So about this. I have not seen one of these before. I have no idea if it's any good or not. It's pretty well priced. I think it's around about sort of £50-ish. I bought a Venture a couple of years back, and I was trying, I think, was it this year or last year, I was trying to buy one of those RS4 Sport 3s, because they look really good little touring cars. I wanted to make a car park basher RS4 Sport 3. But at the time, you couldn't get them. The stock was empty for months. It was this Creators Edition I wanted. I wanted the Creators Edition so I could build my own car, and they sat on back order for months and months. I just thought, ugh. And by the time they've come back in, look, this has come out. I can make a car park basher out of a 917-ish, sort of. So I'm always going to pick a 917-ish, sort of. Because who wouldn't pick a 917-ish, sort of? I mean, look at that. It's a little bit more substantial than the likes of your standard touring cars. But, we'll see. Nice. Anyway, 4S compatible. I mean, it's supposed to take a lot of power. So what is this like? This is the TF50, which is probably to do with the retail price. It's not. It's not to do with the retail price. So I haven't seen this. You can see it's all well packaged and stuff. I can't put things back in the box to save a life, so you know I've not opened this. That's where it goes. Right. I hope the receiver's not in that. That's it. Cool. We have TF50. I should have read the spec sheet. That was silly. It's over there now. Never mind. So, what we have here, I think it's, oh geez, how many channels? Some channels, it has some channels, at least 2 channels. That was a bit of an oversight. The receiver's a 3-channel, possibly a transmitter as well. I'll put it up on the screen. So the receiver's a 3-channel. Yeah, so I can power the lights with the battery connector, the sort of thing you put your transponder in or whatever. So I can charge it with that, or run lights with that. Fair enough. Little kind of old school, as in it's quite tall and boxy, more of an old-fashioned looking receiver. Nice. Yeah. Foam wheel. It says channel 3 there. Right? Is it? No, it's not really a. Doesn't have a adjuster. You can move it forward or back. It's just a button for channel 3. Okay. I'm not sure how useful that would be. I mean, lights on and off. Yay. I don't know. Anyway. We have, dual rate endpoint adjustments. What else we got? steering, reverse, and throttle reverse. Very basic, not a huge amount of functions, but it was only, isn't it? It's an unusual design. I've never seen one before. It's quite funky looking. It's an HPI, and it was only about a few pounds more expensive than your standard sort of e-tronics or fast tracks or whatever. So I thought I'd give it a try, because why not? Why not? They can't accuse me of not supporting HPI when I'm buying HPI products. See, it's good. No, it looks nice. It looks really nice, and it does talk about. It did mention good range as well. That was one of the things I noticed on the advert. Maybe they all boast about good range, even ones that have really terrible range. But we'll take them at their word. It looks like the case. I don't think this one can, but it looks like the case can be reversed for people with left hands, like left-handed. Look, because you with left hands. I have a left hand. I'm still right-handed. So you get the 4 bolts there. You can take that off. This whole connection here. It's got the same on the other side. I don't know if this one can, or if it's maybe a more expensive model can, but something using this case can be reversed for people with left-handed. So with left-handed people, so they don't have to race like that. Because you couldn't really do that. That's in the way. That's in the way of your throttle finger if you're trying to do left-handed driving. But no, it looks nice. So what I need to do now is basically put it all in the car, and then everything's good. I'm going to remove the spare wheel because it'll be the wrong spare. And then I'm going to get excited because I sort of ignored this for ages. Okay, it's now the next day. Didn't quite get it finished last night. Rachel's family showed up for dinner, then we went for a walk because they had the dogs, etc. It was a whole thing, but now we're all good. And look at that. Those could be official 917 wheels. They look so good. They look perfect on it. And like I said, HPI tyres, very sticky, very good tyres. Sticking to the table. Standard one. And look, now those are back tyres. Those are proper back tyres. Not this. Not this. Those. That's more like it. It just looks good all round. It looks awesome. What's less than awesome? Now, I haven't tested this. You are going to see it as soon as I do. Well, you're not, because you're going to have to edit and upload the video. And you'll see on YouTube. But you get my point. So I don't know what it's going to go like. What I do know is, obviously, you have to center the servo before you put the servo arm on, etc. All that stuff on the servo box about, you know, the speed, the performance, all the rest of it, it's all bollocks. It's all complete bollocks, because when I centered the servo, I found out it is glacially slow. I mean, look at this. This is actually, oh, I don't need to do that, do I? It's here. That's quite a nice transmitter. I quite like it. Anyway. I need to plug it in. You ready for this high performance servo? Think I'll be replacing that. It'll do at the moment. I'm hoping this will be all good. I've used the standard gearing, standard pinion and spur that comes with it. Quite a small, it's only 540 motor, quite a small can, quite high kV, 4600. Never ran it on 3S. This is quite a heavy car, so hopefully it'll be okay. But let's try it for the first time. You can see the wiring's a mess. I've not tidied it up yet. I'll tidy it up off camera. Won't be running the car today anyway, because it's pouring rain outside. So, of course it is, it's Scotland. Let's give this a try. Is it going in the right direction? Yes, it is. I was barely touching that there. Sensorless, so it's not going to be particularly smooth off the bottom. Let's try reverse first. Is it the right way around? As in, is reverse slower? Well, if so, Well, yeah, that's going to be a flying machine. That's going to be really quick. Wow. Yes, not going to be slow. Not going to be a speed car, as I said. Going to be a car park basher, street racer, whatever. It's got much more grip. Yeah. Ooh. It has light buckets, doesn't it? Let's have a look. I will tidy all the wiring. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Don't you worry a thing. Don't you worry your wee head. Right. There you are. This channel 3 I mentioned before, the button, doesn't do anything. At least, maybe I should look up the instruction manual for this anyway, but I've got the lights plugged into channel 3, as you can see. Doesn't do anything. There you are. What do you think? I haven't actually seen the front of it yet with the lights on. Wow, that looks really good. Yeah, the light buckets are nice on this, aren't they? Really nice. The back ones are brighter than the fronts, but whatever. There you are. Ready to rock. That's gonna be quick. That's going to be really quick. Cool. Now tune in again to see what it goes like. I'm guessing it goes like extremely quickly, which is a great sentence. Thanks for watching, take care of yourself, I'll see you later. Bye bye.